This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. I'd love it if you did one of those. But, you know, no pressure.
Please do.
So, good morning, guys. Here's the thing. I've been... I don't know if I'm going to put you on the spot here on the air. Let's assume that we all listen to Dave Berry's breakfast show on Absolute Radio. We do in our house.
Oh, I love a bit of Berry.
And there's this, what's the name of that competition, Sarah? 5 words? 5 words. And what they do, it's like word association.
Oh, okay.
I did it after the arson things. They ask you a question, and say a word, and you have to say the first word that comes into your head, ping, like that.
Okay.
And if you can get the 5 right words, the words that they've got, or whatever, then you win some weeks. Was it 150?
Oh, more than that, you can win.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're enjoying your little show.
Yeah, it's difficult because the producer wears a mask, but she wears a mask like what a Mexican bandito would wear in an old Walter Brennan movie. Any road up. So
8:07 on Absolute Radio.
So I don't normally get to play it. I usually get up just after 5 words.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, because Kath gets up with our child. Kath's my partner, gets up with our child, and then I take him to school. That's the deal. So now this week I've been getting up a bit earlier. So I've been hearing it, and every time not every time, but every now and again I'll say a word and she'll go, really? Like, it's such a bad guess. It's word association. It's the first word that's come into my...
What sort of
So
thing?
it's put me off. I mean, no offence if there's anyone from the day, but it's put me off, It's made me feel small, that competition.
You don't like that?
Does Kath come up with her own suggestions?
Oh, yeah, of course. She's very good. But she's been playing it for months now.
Oh, she's in a different
I'm
league.
not sure she's been spontaneous. I think she's got a formula. She's like those guys that get to Las Vegas and play the wheel with a little notebook.
Oh, yeah. Card counting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's something like that going
She's
on.
like one of those pool sharks.
Uh-huh. So what...
Go on then, you're going to try it on us or something?
No.
Oh.
But
You said I don't want to throw this at you.
No, I'm just...
can you second guess it? Is that what it is? If they say, like, beach ball, you don't think straight away of sand, you think of something else on purpose. Is
Yeah,
that how
normally they're one syllable, though. So if I...
Oh, is it?
Oh,
So
okay.
he might say...
Let's say Frank Skinner.
No,
Oh,
2 words.
Goodness.
I mean, come on.
What, the actual word's got to be one word?
This is why we're not on every day.
I don't
We can't
understand
do
it.
word
How do you?
association.
Dave Berry does it. It's like silk.
Give me you
Sounds
try and do it to show me.
So I'd
Show, don't
say
tell.
volcano.
Erupt.
Right.
There you go. You'd stand a good chance with that.
You think?
Thanks.
Yeah. Acne. Erupt. Yeah, you can't keep doing the same one. Anyway, it's a very fine... It sounds simple.
Yeah, I was
but
going to go Gaffney.
it's
And
got-
that, I don't know. That's
no,
awful.
not Gaffney.
Gaffney.
Not Gaffney. What, is Wellard still alive? I bet it is.
No.
Is
Oh,
that today's texting?
Can I say Wellard? That was a really sad episode. I think it might have been one of the last times I watched it when Wellard died.
Yeah, but died in fictionally died.
Well, and they played, you know, when they slow down the EastEnders theme to make it all sad.
Oh, what for a dog?
How
dog.
dare you? Oh, it's going to make you popular.
No, but you know what I mean.
Good luck
Come
with
on.
that.
But it's not even a real, it's a fictional dog. The death of a fictional dog.
Had the actor dog died, or was it just moving on to
No, I think
Panto
just
or
the...
something?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I bet there was more than one. In
Oh,
Skippy,
yeah.
Skippy, the 1960s, 70s Australian show,
Yes.
there was about 12 of them. They used to put them in knotted sacks and drive them around in a transit van. and they'd rotate to keep them fresh. Because they all look pretty much the same. I mean, you can't. The way they were treated. Mr. Ed, the talking horse, they just used to put a big spoonful of peanut butter on the roof of his mouth, and he used to lick it for about 10 minutes, and they'd put the voice in after.
Yeah.
Obviously, they put the voice in after.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting there was a way around that with the talking horse phenomenon.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
I've noticed, I'll tell you who else has gone for it, because you are bold.
Oh, yeah.
I'm afraid I've seen recently
What's
for
that?
the washing powder.
Oh, it's an
Have
advert
they
for
done that?
Bold.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it starts right going, job interview today. It's like, oh no.
Hey, let's not make fun of it. We might play it later.
Oh yeah. Well, I love the song.
Remember, it's commercial radio.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
like the originale, that's all. Anyway,
Got a
sorry.
warning last week when I questioned that advertising might not work on me, remember?
I'm not questioning advertising, I'm just saying job interview today. It's, you know, come on.
We've had an email that at
I
first
can't
gave
really
me...
knock with my Adidas 3 lines on a shirt. No, we haven't done that. God
I would love that.
Would
no,
you
I
ever do
wouldn't.
that?
No, and we turned down the Iceland's Coming Home when they started
Did
delivering
you?
of quite a lot of money, but you know.
I'd have bought a lot of frozen sausage rolls.
Yeah, but it was also completely retrospectively spoilt a very special time in my life.
Fair play.
Good night.
Respect, Amanda. I had misgivings when I saw the title of this email was
I think I
Fools.
used to work with her in that Misgivings.
Misgivings.
Yeah, lovely, very tight bun she had on her hair. Very tight bun.
Givings.
Misgivings, you're actually quite beautiful.
The title of the email was Fools, and then there's an observation, a big moment, about only fools and horses, which I can't actually read because it's got an unbroadcastable word in it.
Okay, but
no.
But thanks anyway.
But the email continues, I think, interestingly. While you are on, can I slide in a big moment? In the 80s, I was told
Can I just stop it? A big moment for any new listeners is that something, I won't bother with the etymology, but it's something that you tell people as if you think, oh, nobody knows this, and actually quite a lot of people know it. Okay.
I was told often in the 80s that tomato soup wasn't good for one's constitution as the tomato soup cooker in the factory corrodes 7 times quicker than other varieties. Not sure if it's even true. It could just be hypotage thesis or something. They're just... but I thought that was interesting. And they continue, tell Frank, and this is an old thing that we used to do of what we do not believe in. Tell Frank fainting is for real, but I don't believe in either jet lag or hay fever. That's from Lenny, who adds brackets tier 2, close brackets.
Okay, Lenny's, he's got it, he's packed it in.
Absolutely ticking loads of the boxes.
He's like the Swiss Army knife of correspondence.
Yeah, he's
Well,
done an unbroadcastable and then several useful...
But
I
how
feel
nice.
bad because I don't believe in car sickness, but now you
that's
told me
good.
that that Buzz suffers from it, and I think of Buzz as a truthful person.
And I had it in the 2 occasions I went in a car before I was 16. I was a bit...
Is that just not used to cars?
I told you,
rather than car sickness.
And Nora went out with a bloke. This is my sister. Went out with a bloke who had it, and she said, when she arrived, she said, he's in his car, and we all went. And we all went out to have a look at it, and it was like a whole second-hand Mini, and we were just walking around it in awe, in absolute awe. Oh.
Well, I think when we first mooted what we don't believe in, I suggested average speed cameras, and I have come to believe in them. I've learned this lesson.
Have you a victim?
Yeah, I've learned this lesson the hard way.
We've all been a
couple of
victim, dear.
times. I thought they were like TV licensed detector vans, just a fake thing to make you behave better.
Do you think TV ratings is how exact a science do you think that is?
I know what you mean, because they always say, why have you never met anyone who's got the machines?
Well, if they're not machines,
No, I know. There
used to be. There's a button in the back of the telly that registers, which isn't true.
But so what? So it's based on...
I can't believe, if you look at the rated ones, it's all the awful programmes are at the top.
Yeah.
And then all the better ones, no one's watching it. I'd rather believe that TV ratings were a failure than that we live in a nation of imbeciles. And now, music.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Oh, I tell you what, I was watching. Me and Bars, my 8-year-old, were watching the. Do you know the ritual of the presidential Thanksgiving turkey?
I do.
Every year, a turkey is brought to the White House, and all set to be slaughtered for Thanksgiving dinner. And the president very ceremonially. Pardons it, and then it lives on a farm. Because often lives on a farm, it's never killed to eat that turkey.
It's just the one, though, he pardoned.
Yeah, just the one, the one. So I was watching that came on, and I didn't tell Boss about the pardoning element. I thought I'll let him get anxious for this turkey.
That's kind.
So I said, "This is a." He was talking about this lovely bird, very, very lovely bird. And,
God,
and
those tapes come out again.
And he said, "What's he talking about?" I said, "There's a turkey that he's going to eat for his Thanksgiving dinner." And he went over to it. So Boss was going, "Oh no, that's so cruel." And I said, "Well, to be fair, we have turkey for our Christmas dinner." He said, "Yeah, but we do kill ours." And I said, no, he's not going to eat it now.
Right.
And he honestly thought. And then we riffed together about what it would be like as a TV spectacular if Trump ate this turkey alive on television.
Went at it. That would be amazing.
And I said, and when we come back, if we went upstairs and come back in an hour's time, there'd just be blood and poo everywhere. And I'd like to think some of that blood and poo would belong to the president. And we went, and then we got into the conversation of why doesn't he do it with a human being? Why not get a death row prisoner?
Oh yeah,
and bring that out. That person out, and then pardon them. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
That's a really lovely idea.
It is, yeah. Life in 2020 isn't quite enough like the Hunger Games for you. So let's see if we can go full tilt.
Well, he might well be out of there soon, so he could have done the whole of death row.
Yeah,
I think he might well be out of there. As
we'll
choice of language.
We'll see. He's going down fighting.
He is at a small table. Eddie from Coulsdon has been in touch.
Coulsdon.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Ill when you do that. Hi, Emily, Frank and Alan. I heard you talking about the canine thespians who played Wellard in EastEnders.
Yes.
Note the plural there, thespians.
Yes.
Believe it or not, one of them also played, wait for it, it's good, Frank, Russell Crowe's wolf in the opening battle scene in Gladiator. So a slight change of pace for him in teaming up later with the Gaffney. Keep up your contractually obligated duties.
That's
Eddie from
interesting,
Coulsdon.
because I met the bird who played Wolf's Crow in Gladiators.
God.
Come on, that was clever. It wasn't funny, but it was a clever concept.
Complicated.
It's the same ingredient. I mean, Gladiators, Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Crowe. I mean,
No, I know.
I'm thinking
You
on my
rearranged
feet.
a lot of the
It was
words.
like juggling.
Listen, you put a lot
kinda.
of work into that. Well
Thanks.
done.
You know, there's people at home that'll be, I'm not saying anyone's laughing, but I bet there's people still working it out.
Oh yeah.
I bet
for
there's
sure.
people have said,
I might be one
Lynn,
of them.
Me too, Al.
you said Russell Crowe's wolf in Gladiator,
Yeah.
and I said I met the
God.
bird that was remember Wolf from Gladiators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf's Crow from Gladiators.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's it.
All right, darling.
I say there'll be blokes going, Lynn, get us a pencil and paper, love. We are just working out this thing Frank Skinner said on the radio.
Yeah. No, they won't.
This doesn't work. Get a pencil, love. That's what I'm seeing happening in people's homes.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've been inundated.
Yeah, people getting in touch about your wolf gladiator joke to praise it.
See?
Have we?
No.
I was thinking, is that mainly on Twitter?
So cruel.
I don't see the Twitter.
That is just that's like being in a cage and people having like pointed sticks. just horrible.
We have had 493 sending a long message describing motion sickness and why it happens. And I would just say to Steve in Holbridge, we didn't say that we didn't believe in it. I think I don't like to speak as the group.
It was Emily Dean who said it, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
It was a guest.
No, I don't believe in it.
No.
Motion sickness.
Yeah, I don't believe in it at all.
I'll tell you, not
I
only-
never, when everyone says I'm car sick, I say, no, you're not. You just want attention.
Well,
sorry.
I'm not saying I,
do believe
don't
this
always
now.
want attention, but not only did I get in cars a lot as a kid, but
Yeah.
I went to a thing at the Trocadero in Piccadilly Circus. It's
Yeah,
a sort of
not
a
far
centre of
from here.
fun.
It used
Not
to be.
far
I don't
from
believe it. I think it's closed
I
down
don't know
now.
what it is now.
I don't think the centre of London is open for much fun right now.
No, the centre of London, like the centre of most great cities, is a very trashy area.
It can be. Yeah.
And I love London, but the centre, you know, the M&M
Seriously?
shop and stuff,
Oh,
come
yeah.
off it.
You've
What
never been
about
a
when
fan of
Frank
that,
and
have
I
you?
went in there? Oh,
Anyway, so I went there, and it was you went for a sat in this little tiny cinema, and you watched a film of a runaway carriage on a sort of mining railway track,
Oh, yeah.
underground mine, tiny
yes.
track. With
I
this,
believe I experienced this, Frank.
and they moved, your seat moved.
Oh, one of those.
And
It's a virtual ride.
Yeah, and I did that, and I felt awful. I felt really sick after that, and I was 35.
So it
and
does happen.
It definitely happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to tell you.
My biggest don't believe in is when people say they've had email problems. Yeah, sure you have.
Oh, when people say
I never believe
I
that.
never got your email, that is always
Although
a lie.
that did happen to me last week.
No, it didn't.
There is a thing you can get which is awful. It's a program and what it does, some friends recommended to me. I won't name and shame these people because they're good friends. They said, get this, it'll change your life. It ruined my life. It promises to sort out your emails
Oh, I don't like that.
and put them in separate folders. People still aren't speaking to me as a result of this. I'm sorry. It doesn't...
If you could get a gadget which fitted on your phone,
Yeah.
which operated as a lie detector, would you have that gadget on your phone?
No.
So I could tell if the person was lying.
Yeah.
I love this idea. I
Well, would
love
you
it.
want it?
100.
Oh, would you?
No.
Would you not, Frank?
Well, it wouldn't be worth it for my 2 calls a week. But can I tell you, I've had a strange week this week. When celebrities marry celebrities, I always think, oh no, I wouldn't do that.
So you
Because
are.
because you lose a bit of your specialness. You know what I mean? You want to be the one in the family who emanates light.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, and then my sister-in-law, she married a guy who's a massive, successful writer. So obviously that diminished me somewhat. And now my sister,
Yeah.
my partner and her sister are doing a podcast, which
Yeah.
is going really well. It was closing in on. By the way, I didn't know we featured in the comedy podcast charts on a
Yeah.
regular basis on
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah?
You're doing all right, Al. Cheer up.
I'm cheery.
Anyway, this week she says to me, can you open the side gate for me? It's a bit stiff. Can you
Yeah.
open the side gate? Because we've got a photographer from the Daily Telegraph doing a session in the garden.
Really?
And I thought, honestly, it's tough. I'll be completely straight with you now. They also manage Daisy May and Charlie Cooper,
yeah.
who do this country. They manage them, her and her sister.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting at home. We were on holiday, and it's like, oh, Daisy May and Charlie have had this offer for a 28-part series from the BBC, but I don't think they'll be able to do it because of that Hollywood thing. Jack's saying, yeah, I've just got to go and speak to George Clooney on the phone. And I'm saying, yeah, I'm doing the Chortle book festival online. Oh, it's tough. Have you ever seen A Star Is Born? It's tough. By the way,
It's good for your soul.
But my
Frank.
sister's podcast, which is called
It's not your sister, it's your partner.
my partner. Sorry, once it feels more like a sister nowadays. Country people will think nothing of it.
Christmas future for all relationships, let's be honest.
The podcast is called I Wish I Was an Only Child, and this week actually features Charlie Cooper and Daisy May Cooper
does
from
it?
this country.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, it's very ooh-ah.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
By the way, I was talking about having to open the side gate because the photographer from the Daily Telegraph was photographing my partner and her sister in our garden for an interview. Come off it.
Are you worried that the seesaw has tilted and you've become
Yeah.
the civilian in the marriage,
I've
in the
become,
relationship?
and
rather
I
than the
married a
celebrity?
civilian in
Yeah.
order that I might
Yeah.
shine even brighter.
That's the spirit.
And
Just
I
admit it. Good for you.
I've failed. But one highlight of it was she told me that she said apparently he's quite a well-known photographer. He's called Alistair Crowley. Now, Alistair Crowley is everybody's favourite occultist.
He
Don't know if
really
you
is.
know.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a very... he sort of
A
wrote his
dark
own
character.
version of the Bible with one commandment, which
Now-
was, do what thou wilt.
But it's not the same one,
A
sure.
It
famous
wasn't him.
rock star
No,
owns
it's a
his old
different-
house. I'm sure our readers will know.
I think Led
Jimmy Page?
Zeppelin used to take it in turns to live in Alistair Crowley's former.
Just Jimmy
Take it
Page.
in
Not
turns.
Jimmy Page is the one who had the ongoing argument.
Yeah, with
over
the,
house. Is it Brian May? Anyway, if any of our readers know which old rocker lives in
I think that
Alistair
there's
Crowley's
I
house.
think there's a record of old rockers living in Alistair Crowley's former places.
Okay.
But this is a
what-
different chap. It's a photographer that I
This-
think
this
is
is-
quite well known.
It's actually called Andrew, as it turns
Oh, is
out.
it?
I think she had Alistair Crowley in her mind because she reads about him quite a lot.
She's gone a bit. She can't. She's going to be an international celebrity. She can't go all .cotton on the names.
No, she can't start calling the photographer after a well-known occultist.
No.
No, you got to pick your battles.
Frank, talking of .cotton, 976, we've had a missive in from one of our esteemed readers. EastEnders is rich pickings for autobiographies and shoehorned in titles. Because you know we're a fan of these.
Yeah.
Pam St Clements. I might see if you can come up, either of you, comics.
Well, I feel like I
Off-
would
off
be
Pat.
cheating.
Do you know, that would have been
Because
great.
she's
Pat Pending.
Oh, Pat, that would be
Come
good.
on,
Yeah.
Frank.
Um,
I think. I mean,
let's have a butcher's.
We should explain she played Pat Butcher.
Yeah, she did.
yeah. I mean, yeah. You don't want to have to put that under an asterisk on the cover.
No,
Imagine if the publisher.
But
said,
if you're going to buy it, you're going to know who she is.
Yeah.
Nobody buys random biographies, autobiographies of the people never heard of, do they?
well,
No, I don't think
would
so.
say it's good, but it's not right. But what I'm
Okay.
actually going to say is it's better, but it's not right.
Go on, what was
The
that?
actual title was The End of an Earring.
Oh, well, not bad, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Not bad.
John Altman.
That was Nasty Nick,
It
wasn't
was.
it?
Yeah. Was
Na-
Big Brother called Nasty Nick, or was he called another?
He
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
They can't just steal someone's moniker.
I think they did.
They
I think
don't
that's
care.
exactly what
At that
happened.
end of the scale.
Steal someone's moniker, sell it.
Nasty. Would it be a nasty business?
Ooh.
Turning nasty.
No.
Nick in time.
Yay!
Oh, Frank, in the nick of time.
Oh,
Very good.
hurrah. I know one. I'll go and, can I ask
I don't
you
know
one?
if we've got. Yeah, sure.
It might be on that list, but one that
Sure.
I always liked was for the brevity of the title.
Go on.
No S.
No S.
Oh, no
Yeah.
S. No S.
I would include the if our readers promise not to. I tell you what, if we say this, if you Google it, then you something terrible has to happen to you in the next 24 hours. Anyone who
Okay.
knows the answer, which EastEnders
I'm going to
star?
spend the musical interlude thinking about this.
Okay.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
You may have guessed this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215. People have, I say, rather successfully this morning. You can follow...
Sounding like an old classics teacher.
You can... that's my general ambience on this show, I would say. You can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, it's gone a bit non-classical. At Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
I'd
so many options, so
that's
little
very
time.
much your look at the moment, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving chic-wise towards the master. It's the sort of Latin master at Ampleforth. Yes, I chose the Catholic one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I'd rather you hadn't picked one that was involved in a recent scandal.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
Which one has?
Speaking of,
They all have been, Frank, I'm
Oh,
afraid.
don't.
Speaking of matters of faith, we've had somebody with what I find a comic misunderstanding. You were discussing how your brother-in-law is a well-known writer.
He's not
And
just well known.
We've had an email
One of the greats.
titled Catholicism. Frank, do you discuss religion with your BIL Mr. Pullman?
Oh, I see.
If so, what do you think of the criticism of his work by the Catholic Herald, citing Pullman's work as an example of fiction far more worthy of the bonfire than Harry Potter on the ground? ... I bring this to your attention because I find it funny on several levels.
No, my brother-in-law is not John Pullman.
Philip Pullman.
Philip Pullman.
Yeah,
He's not John. He's not John Pullman either.
He's not John Pullman, the
not a lot of
1980s
people.
snooker star. I wish he was.
He's
but
not.
better that than Philip.
John Pullman.
Yeah. If only Philip Pullman had kept his hands in his pockets.
Yeah.
No, I
The best thing you've ever said is, my brother-in-law is not John Pullman.
That's great. That's some interesting snooker corruption trial from 1984. Anyway, my brother-in-law did I think where the confusion is, he did the adaptation of his Dark Materials, which of course was originally written by
He
Philip.
does them all. They all want him.
Yeah.
But I'm all right with Pullman and his views. It's fine. I think you just
Okay.
gotta,
Yeah.
I
I think I used to agree with Pullman on
Okay.
atheism, but I think he might be a bit stupid on a few other things.
Okay.
well, nobody's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Well,
not,
I'm sauntering
let's not
out of,
slag him off as my brother-in-law's working closely with him.
Oh, is it?
I'm gonna take a meander out of controversy corner.
Yes, exactly.
And take us back into EastEnders, because we left you on We left you on tenterhooks. Would you say that's fair, Frank?
Yes.
Guess the autobiography title.
So I said I happened to. Someone had sent in some funny EastEnders autobiography titles.
For example, Pam St Clement's The End of an Earring, John Altman, In the Nick of Time. There's one more.
Okay, let me have a guess at this, and then I'll tell you.
Let's have a guess at this, and then, because I like to keep people guessing, give them a bit more time to get their pen and... people always say that, don't they? They say, get your paper and pencil ready. No one has that these days.
I do.
Good point.
Oh, you do, actually. June Brown, Frank.
What would hers be?
Now, do we know who she played?
Yes,
Frank?
of course.
Played-
She played Dot Cotton.
Okay. Any takers?
.com millionaire. .cotton millionaire.
I mean, the world is her oyster with that.
Yeah, smoke
Name.
gets in your eyes.
Oh, that would have been good, Frank.
My beautiful laundrette.
Oh, that's good.
She needed you. You see, you helped me come up with my book title. This is what you could do. Yeah, that could be your job. Book
A
titles.
strand of cotton.
No.
Okay.
Book titles are us. You could charge a fortune for this, Frank. Do you want a last final
I think
hurrah?
she might have been in The Curse of Peladon. She was definitely in a Doctor Who. Yeah.
That's what everyone was thinking.
Anyway,
that's
go
not
on.
the highlight of
That's what
people's
everyone was
lives.
thinking when she got mentioned.
Okay. Well, what is it?
Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Before the year dot.
Oh, it's good.
It's good because it makes sense.
Okay. Do you want to know we'll come back.
The no S one, I've got a guess.
Oh, okay, have a guess.
I think it's Letitia Dean.
Why?
Because her name hasn't got an S in it. Is it that?
It's a good. But to quote Roy Slow Talker Walker,
Yeah.
that's good, but it's not right.
Skinner on Absolute Radio.
No S. Do you have... what do our readers think?
I enjoy the crisp.
You're on the radio.
At least
I forgot.
You just completely forgot. That's
I completely
funny.
forgot I was on the radio.
But you just did it so ostentatiously. It was like you were eating crisps. You're a character in a radio play eating crisps.
What do they call that sound effects in radio thing?
Sound effects.
Now, there's a technical term for the bloke who sort of... there's a thing where you have... like they use corn flour and they press it so it goes... So, and they do walking through snow.
Okay.
Foley, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good knowledge.
We have... well, the answer to the No S autobiography...
Yes.
We've had some guesses here.
Yeah, what have we got?
Layla Morse, Route 1. Oh, no, this isn't a guess. This is Just a Mo.
Okay.
I believe that was hers.
Was that Big Mo's was called Just a Mo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, nothing to see here. 594 has suggested for No S, Wendy Richard.
Yes.
That's from Linda.
That is the answer.
Oh,
Linda, congratulations. Well
that
done.
makes sense.
Wendy Richard, not Wendy Richards. And so, yeah.
Okay.
God, I used to love Wendy Richards in her youth and my
Richard.
youth. Wendy Richard. No, I loved all of them. She was... I'll tell you what, I don't know if people look like, but she had what I would call an English glamour about her.
Oh, okay.
Pale, which
Yes.
is not popular now. Pale and sort of 7 out of 10 dress sense.
Right.
And that combination, great. There's a photo of her. You know, she was in Help, the Beatles movie, but her scene got cut.
Oh.
Did you know this?
Tough.
And there's a photo of her with Paul McCartney. Oh, she's beautiful, beautiful. Wendy Richard.
Okay.
No longer with us, of course. And a fervent Margaret Thatcher supporter.
Was she? Interesting.
But, you know,
The late Kenny Everett
It's
as well.
always nice to have a dark...
The late Kenny Everett.
It's nice to have a dark
fan of
side on a
Thatcher.
glamorous woman, I think. A little bit of, you know what I mean? A little bit of poison.
I remember the late Kenny Everett having those
he
big
loved-
thumbs at a Conservative rally.
Did he?
He
Yes,
said...
I believe he brought the thumbs out
That's
for
he
him.
shouted, let's bomb Russia at a Conservative rally.
Did he?
Oh,
He
did
did.
he? Okay.
I think he said bomb.
Oh, for heaven's gate. 849 has suggested just one final here for the EastEnders autobiographies, because it is a
He's done
fine
it
one.
again.
Enjoy your crisp, Frank. June.
Oh, God, I've done it again!
Okay, you really have. and now you're screeching whilst eating crisps.
But it's interesting. I loved Kenny Everett. And
never happened, Al.
and Wendy Richard.
Yeah.
And I could completely cope with the fact that they had different political view to me. What's happened to that?
Good lad.
What's happened to
Good
that
lad.
attitude?
Gone.
Okay.
Good lad.
849, June the Dots could have been a good one.
June the Dots.
That is good.
That is, yeah. That is...
What do you think?
No, I like that.
I
That's
think
better
849
than...
might be available for book titling as well. You know, this business that you're going to launch, maybe you could get them in as well.
I
Dream
like
team.
a punning title, and I was thinking, what about a show? I did This Is Your Life. I was This Is
yes.
Your Life, and I remember thinking, wouldn't this? I kept thinking they're not going to bring any ex-girlfriends out, are they? Because imagine the
Did they?
tension. They didn't. But then I thought, but wouldn't it be a great show if that's all they brought out? Ex-partners. And I thought, and they come on, and you
Retitle it, This Is Your Anxiety Dream.
and you
This
just
is the
talk.
end of your life as you know it.
And you just talk about what the relation, what went wrong, what they were like, and so it's a celebrity and maybe 2 or 3 former partners.
It's a remembrance of flings past.
But get this, and the title could be Excommunication.
Oh, that's
Top end.
good. That is a good title.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Lovely Christmassy missive from 614. enjoying the show, listening while writing Christmas cards and watching Frank on YouTube recently. She likes watching old episodes of your chat show.
Goodness.
Loved Caroline Aherne and Kenny Rogers. You look so young then, Frank.
Do you know Kenny Rogers?
No. Right.
I actually told him about that because he had a fast food chain called Kenny Rogers Roosters. I said, are you familiar with the verb usage? And he wasn't. It was a great moment. I liked him a lot, actually.
Me too.
And Caroline, very kindly,
Holy mackerel, Batman.
she offered to conduct a laboratory experiment in which I started drinking. Me and her in a locked hotel room, and she made sure I didn't do anything unsafe. That was the idea. I didn't. And then Eric Clapton wrote to me and said, I saw that. Can I beseech you not to start drinking again? Yeah.
Good.
It's a funny old world. And now I'm opening the side gate so that my partner and her sister can do a photo shoot with the Daily Telegraph.
You do seem to feel
You know
quite
what?
eclipsed.
I think
so
that shows.
eclipsed.
Yeah, but that shows great strength in you to be able to let others boss.
Look, it's a good time for the ladies in general in 2020, and it's like when you get to the zoo, you get by the bars and have a good look at the animal, then you move away and let someone else stand by the
You've
bars.
taken it in a very dignified way. It's not like you've mentioned it on national radio on the weekend or anything.
No.
It's good when I need to lance.
Yeah.
For something
I know.
on my mind, I need to lance.
You need
Yeah,
to
I
Armstrong
understand.
it, I know. Sorry to
do.
mention
I need to
Lance
get
Armstrong.
all the
I know you were a
poison
Oh,
fan.
still livid.
I know. It still burns, that thing.
One big lie. Not quite. A few more than one.
Can I say, by the way, I've been recommended the Daisy and Charlie Cooper podcast with my
Yes.
partner.
Yeah.
There is a good deal of swearing on it, so if there's anyone listening to this who doesn't like
Sorry,
swearing...
has anyone seen Frank Skinner?
No. But on this show, as you know, I am squeaky clean. Listen,
Don't like that so much.
that was me rubbing my hands together.
Thanks for change from eating crisps.
Yeah,
Clive
I
Silas
can't
is-
believe I did that. I'm so sorry, everyone. I had a crisp mid-link, and then I was ashamed of myself, and then a minute and a half later, I had another crisp. I mean, it's so unprofessional. Silas.
Clive Silas, you're
I
familiar
know his
with.
sister Miley.
Yes. He has pointed out, you mentioned famous Maggie Thatcher supporters, and today is 30 years to the day since she resigned.
30 years of hurt.
Yeah.
That's probably what...
There you go.
that's what dear old Wendy Richard would have said if she's still around.
Do you remember what she said? We are leaving Downing Street.
Good.
No, I'll tell you
She
what.
said that.
I believe that Wendy Richard was given a speech as Pauline in EastEnders,
Yes.
in which she moaned about Margaret Thatcher, and she refused to do it.
Oh.
Is that right?
And yet Bruno Gantz said yes to playing Hitler. We've all got our standards. Didn't bother David Tennant with his mass murderer work.
No.
You know, we're all different. What else?
Some people will play
I'll tell you what
Thomas
happened
More. Some people will play.
I'll tell you what happened to me.
Yeah.
The doorbell went at 10 o'clock at night.
Cool story, bro.
We never... well, in our house, it's an enormous story.
Yeah.
That never happened.
In your house, it's a basis for an epic poem.
10
Was it
o'clock at
some
night.
knock-a-door run?
You know who it was?
Visitor from Paul.
So I said, who's that? On the intercom, and it's Royal Mail.
At 10 p.m.
No.
That's exactly what I said. I said, Royal Mail. I went, hi. Royal Mail? 10 o'clock? I mean, the intercom was operating at the very extremity of its treble.
What was it they were delivering?
I'll tell you what it was
Go
delivering. It
on.
was a parcel for people who live up the road. He got the wrong house. I mean, but what's
Not
going
at that time,
on?
no.
10 o'clock. And I went out and I had a look to make sure it was a Royal Mail van and not some...
Oh, he's such a
Good
nosy
work on your
neighbour.
due diligence. That's
yeah,
good.
because I thought no potential burglar's going to think. Well, first of all, we have to nick a Royal Mail van.
No.
They don't have
I
that
can
kind of
imagine
attention
him
to detail.
in his Crocs and his bifocals.
Yeah, exactly.
Little dressing gown.
Just a pajama jacket. But
That'll scare him off.
yeah. What's your
won't be coming round again.
What's your latest ever Royal Mail delivery? 8, 12, 15. Now,
Frank, I'd like to draw both your gentlemen's attention
yeah.
to the matter of Wayne Rooney. It's a big day for him today, I believe, isn't it? Is his first game as Gaffer Proper in charge? Is
I
he?
believe so.
I don't know. I don't take much notice of the championship. I'm saving that for next season.
I like to. I think they're so cute. He said. He did say recently, actually, because he said he's going to retire. That's it. He's done with playing.
Really?
Yes, no more playing, just managing.
Wow.
But we don't care about that on this show. We leave that to other people. We care about him smashing up a Blackberry in a dressing room. Because he revealed this recently. He was doing a United podcast, and he was talking about a moment some years ago. I saw it as an incident of immense shame. He seemed to find it funny. But, we're all different.
There's often a fine line between the two.
There's definitely a not always clear line until too late.
No.
What happened? I mean, I feel I should use the footballer's tense out of respect here.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gone in
Yeah.
to the first team dressing room. He's looked up. He's discovered his Blackberry charger is being used by another player.
Can I say, I don't know if they're still around, but already saying you had a Blackberry in the dressing room, to me, feels like I left my abacus
Yeah.
in the dressing room.
Yeah, it feels like they were playing in boots that went up past the ankle, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And really
Yeah.
heavy football.
Can I also make a confession?
Go on.
I was going to say, and this is very rarely I do this, I was going to say, instead of abacus, sextant.
Oh, that would have been good.
And I thought, is that I don't know if people will know what a sextant is.
I wouldn't have.
No, usually I trust this, you guys, and indeed our audience.
Well,
But
you'd
I
have
lost
lost
my-
half of the studio audience because I wouldn't have got
Well,
that.
you would have lost, but then you also would have raised them up a bit.
Yeah.
Because then they would have
You
found
gained
out.
a bit of
Do
richness, wouldn't
do
it?
people still use Blackberries? All right, I just want to check
No.
this before they've gone, have they?
I think,
Only Dave Berry, because I think they might sponsor him.
Okay.
No, they don't. But
Because the idea of smashing up a Blackberry now feels like, when you see ISIS smashing up ancient monuments, it's got that kind of vibe to it. I'm not comparing Wayne Rooney with ISIS in any real way.
No, I hope not.
Anyway, so he gets in.
so he gets in.
He's been charging his.
He's
that's
been
right.
charging his Blackberry in the first team dressing room, and I use the first team. There's a reason I've put emphasis on this, because what then happens is he looks up, he examines the Blackberry, he sees it belongs to a player called Ravel Morrison. Do you remember him?
I actually don't remember him.
Well, that says a lot, because you know everything about football.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't. But I think he's a guy who was going to, like, there's a great many guys who was on the brink of
Could have
being
been a
really good
contender.
and then didn't quite.
He showed promise, but
It's a tough old business.
it never quite happened. Anyway, when Rooney discovers the Blackberry charger thief, is Ravel Morrison, at that point he loses it.
Yeah, it smashes
He hasn't
it
lost the
before.
dressing room, he lost it in the dressing room.
Yeah.
He went absolutely postal. He smashed it up.
But what I like about that,
And he admitted it, Frank. He said, I smashed
I
it
like
up.
the
Glad
fact.
you like this.
No, I like that his temper was all right until he found out it wasn't a first team player.
Yeah, it was a junior
That's
player.
fabulous. It's not often you get a. Well, I suppose you do. People say, "Oh, yeah, I can't control my temper," but everybody can a bit. And selective.
He had a tier system
he
where
did.
he was allowed to use his phone.
Exactly. Years ahead of his time, Wayne Rooney.
Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
You were asking about late visits from the Royal Mail.
Yes, 10 o'clock they came to our house.
Too late.
Sickening.
Christmas backlog, he said. I said,
My
your
postman-
medical problems are your business.
My postman's wonderful, can I say? Listens to the show. Hello
We know
there.
we've got a lovely
Love my
postwoman who's really lovely, but this was a van man. He was friendly, but 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. 174 has texted. Emily really enjoys this. It's funny. On the subject of Royal Mail, my wife and I are normally both at work when our postie visits, but I was off on Thursday. popped to the shops and came home to find him taking cuttings from our bay tree outside our front door. Wow. Outraged Andy from Dorchester.
What did he say anything to it?
There's no more information.
Oh.
Andy from Dorchester would love to know what
spaghetti bolognese,
Oh,
and
maybe.
he wanted the bay leaves. I mean,
keen cook.
don't be calling in the bay leaves.
I mean,
at this stage.
We've got a rosemary bush in our back garden, but if it was in the front and the postie decided, hey, I'm doing lamb tonight, I'd be fine with that.
Would you be okay with it?
Yeah, I think so.
You've got to ask, haven't you?
What would
Probably.
you say, Frank? You'd go absolutely postal.
We have a thick encampment of marijuana in our back garden, and I would be out. We haven't. No, we haven't.
Okay.
No, I think they should ask though.
What, the postman who...
Well, anyone who...
Those postmen who have a habit of trimming bay leaves.
Yes, takes your James Bay leaves.
So let's get back to Wayne Rooney in the dressing room.
I mean, I can understand his agony because I have come back to my own phone that has been unplugged and a family member, either my son or wife, has plugged in. And then you get back and you find your phone at 37% and you thought you were coming back to somewhere 80s, 90s even.
I'm putting it in the same Venn diagram.
Infuriating.
Is when you... Have you ever had this? Happens to me all the time. You boil the kettle and then when you go back to make your tea, it's gone in the steamer or something. It's just been left there empty.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you don't find a kettle boiling and think, oh, this is probably just randomly boiling. Just saying.
Well...
Of course, now she's getting famous, that's going to get worse. I'll be treated like mock in our house.
We should say, Ravel Morrison, he did respond to this, to Wayne Rooney's revelation.
Yeah.
Did he say it was a load of boleros?
Oh, very good.
Come on.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's great work.
Yes, what did Ravel say?
Ravel said that he said it was Rio's fault, meaning Rio Ferdinand, obviously, because Rio's no stranger to a prank. You may recall he had an entire show, You've Been Murked, I believe
that's
it was
right.
called.
Oh.
Yeah.
He would turn up and he did one on David Beckham. It was quite cruel. Now I think about the David Beckham one. He got some men to get in a car and pretend they were sort of kidnapping him.
I remember that. That was a bit... I think
light on laughs, strong on hostage-taking vibe.
And also a sort of daily concern for the man that he would presumably be very sympathetic to. What is it? I mean, come on, Rio, you've taken leave of your senses.
Yeah, Rio
wouldn't
probably
like
getting
that.
his own back for when they hid that drugs test he was supposed to do.
Absolute radio.
I'm amazed that a professional footballer leaves their phone unaccompanied in that kind of dressing room, because surely they're exactly the kind of people that would love to, prank you.
He said it was Rio's fault because of, and You've Been Murked, which, can I say, should have been a show presented by Angela Merkel.
That would be good.
Yeah.
You've Been Murked. He said Rio had done it as a prank, and he went on to say, Ravel said, I would never take your phone off charge, smiley face.
Is that what he calls Rooney? I have to say I'm sort of pro Rio this week, because West Brom was a victim of some terrible VARs at the weekend. And he was our main... Well, Paul Scholes was saying, well, I wouldn't say it were cut and dry. No, it was cut and dry. And
Scalesy.
And Rio was saying, no, come on. So that was good.
Okay.
So that's swayed you towards him.
It has. I like him now. I've decided he's a fantastic bloke. Yes, Super Bobby Taylor, who used to play for West Bromwich Albion, I think played for Leeds in his youth. And he got back to the dressing room once, couldn't find any of his clothes, his shoes or anything, couldn't find any of them. And there was much laughter. And then when he looked up, they'd all been nailed to the ceiling of the dressing room.
Murked.
You've been murked.
He'd been murked.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Text us on 81215, that'd be good, because they've been rich today, the texts. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. All of it makes for a more interactive world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been talking about Wayne Rooney this morning and his smashing up the Blackberry in the dressing room incident.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Louise Grant, and this is what I love about our readers, they take things off on a slight tangent, which I love. Louise Grant, Wayne Rooney, club shop outfit or tidy tailoring for his first full gaffer appearance today? What do you think?
That is a good question.
That question to Frank Skinner.
I think I cannot see Rooney in his metre wearing a suit and stuff. I think he's going to be unreservedly club shop.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know he's not a fan of the reserves.
Maybe even no.
He's made that clear.
Derby County baseball cap even.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going?
Well, I agree with Frank, but I often puzzled, and I think I've mentioned this before. Tony Pulis, I always felt he did this the wrong way around. He would be in tracksuit and a baseball cap at the sideline, and then he would do his match of the day interview, having had a shower and wearing a full suit.
It's
and I
true.
thought, you're going to be on the bus, mate, in your full suit.
This is BS.
What you want is the tracksuit for the bus.
It
and
wasn't
you want
a long haul flight.
You want the suit for the authority when you're shouting at the
suit.
players.
What I like, you see, I always liked David Pleat for this reason. He
would know about fashion, wouldn't he, with that nominative determinism?
He went for the 1970s minicab driver slip-on. You know, with a little gold snaffle on them, and I loved that about him.
Here's the problem, though.
Yes.
If the ball comes towards him and he's got those on, he's not going to pass it back well, and then the crowd will turn on him, and then he'll lose his confidence and his job.
That's true.
A gaffer trying to pass a ball back in a minicab driver slip-on from the 70s. Come on.
Well, a gaffer just basically receiving the ball in any capacity gets
fabulous.
more scrutiny from the crowd than the other 95 minutes of football.
I'm going to go.
Can I say though, Tony Poo? I always used to say, if you wanted to see 70% about West Bromwich Albion's club shop thing, go and see the Poulis family night fishing, and they would be completely covered in scarves, manager jackets, tracks. I mean, it'd all be there.
I'm going to go Wayne. I think he might go a sort of. He might go a Pep's Lucky Grey cardigan.
Well,
I think he might go for some expensive knitwear, Italian knitwear.
I mean, it's quite cold. In the summer, I can see him in just in one of those Fred Flintstone smocks
Tabard!
with the serrated bottom.
Just
Flintstone's
A different
tabard, Frank.
different kind of club shop.
And it has a V as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Does it have a belt of any sort, the Fred Flintstone garment?
I mean, I remember.
8, 12, 15.
I don't know what animal has got an orange pelt with a sort of a black hexagon on it, but he's stuck with it.
That
Fred.
animal may not exist now. That's probably
Oh, it's a shame.
very early creature, isn't it?
You're right.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, for a family, they I think use some sort of ancient pelican as a stylus for their record player.
And the telephone, was that a pterodactyl of some sort?
It was. Very fun. That's the first, when we got colour telly, which was about 3 years after colour telly came out, the first programme I watched in colour was the Flintstones, and it felt like so amazing. In my own home.
But Hair Bear Bunch.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that was fabulous.
So don't shout. Oh yes. So I was gonna move on, but
sorry.
There's the fares has arrived at my
How do we
side.
get out of this?
It's all right. For new listeners, when the producer wants me to shut up, she puts a fares at the side, and I respond to that.
Yeah.
So we always have a fares time or something like that. But
I don't like this time.
No, I don't. It sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? I don't know why.
It sounds a bit louche.
Yeah.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
The thing I'm surprised by about the Rooney leaving the Blackberry in the dressing room for footballers is that they are kind of towel flicking kind of characters, aren't they? And I'm not. And I still sometimes take advantage of the fact that the iPhone, you know, if you flick the screen, you can get to the camera without knowing someone's code. You know that? If you
Oh,
press
is
the
that
button.
right?
So,
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Frank. Did you?
so I would say about twice a week, most weeks, I take a picture of my own nostrils or of me gurning or something like that and leave it on my son's or my wife's
All
phone.
those days were
Just-
behind you, Al.
You'd think, wouldn't you? But no, they're still happening. And I'm not a towel-flicking jock professional footballer. I'm a somewhat cerebral comic, I'd like to think. And I'm still guilty of that sort of caper.
I used to be really good at towel flicking.
Did you?
I mean, I got the,
Strange,
the
Rose.
timing on it. I was so perfect.
Weird flex. But okay.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've never done it in my life.
And,
Aw.
and well, come to the masterclass.
No, you're all right.
I should go around the schools doing a masterclass in it.
That'd be good. Sports schools, mainly.
Yeah, but you see what's frustrating is that I was in Montana, and this cowboy tried to teach me how to flick a bullwhip, and when he did it, I thought, this is like just it's the towel
It's a
technique.
transferable
Oh,
skill.
yeah.
Could not do it.
Oh, that's a shame.
And
Yeah.
when he did it, it made a sound like you've never. It really,
Really good
echoed. Oh, couldn't do it.
I like you saying like you've never, because that's a very Trumpy thing. He says like you've never. You wouldn't believe it. Numbers
By the way,
like you've never.
I was in your manor at the weekend, Emily. And
What
I
happened?
It's one of the rare occasions in my life I felt sorry for J.B. Priestley.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because there's a house there
Yeah.
which was lived in by J.B. Priestley, the writer. But it was also lived in by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And I was so impressed by the
Yeah.
Coleridge thing, I sort of slightly ignored the
Yeah.
Priestley. It reminded me when I was on an aeroplane with the playwright Tom Stoppard.
Oh, yeah.
a fabulous anecdote.
Yes. And we had there was a weird thing happened. We dropped about 20 feet. You know that horrible thing?
Oh, yeah.
And there was a bang. It was really quite scary. And as we got off, I said, who do you think would have got top billing, Tom, if me and you had gone down?
What do you say?
He said it rather depends on the newspaper.
Oh, you know what? You got
Great answer.
murked.
No, I got murked.
Absolutely.
Oh, Stoppard murked you.
I don't mind that. It was a great
It's a great response.
great
Out
response.
of interest, which newspaper would have gone big on you? And
At the time, Sun and the Mirror would have been,
I think it would have been Skinner Tabloid, Stoppard broadsheet.
yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, The
it's a
Guardian
shame.
would
Sorry
have
to
been,
break this devastating news to you. But
yeah, that would have been Three Lions comic also perishes. Yeah. Yeah, but it didn't happen. We got away with it. It's
You did.
fine.
So
So,
it
yeah,
really
so
smashes up
Coleridge-
this phone. Sorry.
I had a less complicated conversation on the ferry to Robben Island with Mark Pugach.
Oh yes.
Thought there was less to discuss. Anyway, what else?
Well, I do. I feel a bit jealous at the idea of smashing up a Blackberry, regardless of whose it is, because I think that must be a very satisfying feeling. And I've noticed
you?
I've been watching a couple of sort of spy drama type things recently. You know, when they snap like a phone and chuck it in the bin, I get real envy of that. I mean, I'd love that.
Well, but you've
Do
got
they
the
snap
chopping.
a
He's got you've got the chopping blocks.
Yeah.
I walked
For the
into
karate?
my manager's office once, and he said about 12 swear words in about 3 seconds. Slammed the phone down, landline phone, and the whole phone disintegrated. I mean, he slammed it down so hard, and he didn't know I was there. I was just walking in. He slammed your phone, and the phone shattered. He looked up at me and said, Frank, I don't think you'll be doing 606 this week.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Speaking of pranks, by the way, that we were just talking about with Rio Ferdinand.
Oh, yeah.
This, the three of us went up to bed this.
Can I just
week.
say, not the three of us?
No, not
That's-
the three of us. Sorry, my
that's
family.
never
I'd
happened.
forgotten that.
So Buzz and Kath went into the bathroom to
Sick.
do stuff, clean their teeth and all that. And I got into Buzz's. I went into Buzz's room, and Buzz has got a me cushion which somebody sent me, which is a cushion with my face on it.
Nice.
So I got into his bed and put the cushion over my face. So I've got like a younger me was in the bed.
Uh-huh.
And then they messed about in there for ages. And I thought, I don't want to take the cushion off, because if they come in and the cushion's not on the jet. So I was honestly beginning to have difficulty breathing. And I had a sort of flash forward of someone at my funeral saying, well, it's how he would have wanted to go, though.
During a prank.
Hanging around for the prank. He would rather have died. So I sympathise with Rio and his prankster status.
I mean, in other mobile phone news, apparently the Brits are hoarding old gadgets and keeping mobile phones just in drawers when they could be worth money and they could be used for stuff. I don't know what we're going to do about this, but I'm definitely guilty of it.
Oh,
Are
me
you?
too.
I saw this. 55 million mobile phones currently lying in drawers, Frank.
Well, I've got. In fact, I'm going to
Frank's
put
got 54 million of those.
I'm going to put a photo.
That's what we've got.
No, that's doubloons he's got.
I'm going to put a photo of it on social media of my drawer, one of my drawers at home. And
Can I say, imagine if I said that?
And yes, and there's there is tech in it. There's lots of leads, chargers. I don't know what any of it is, but I mean, I took a close-up photo of it, and I thought this could be in a gallery. This picture.
Again, imagine if I said that.
Yes, exactly.
Humble of you.
So we'll put it on. You should have a look at it and give you an idea. And I just don't throw that stuff away. I bet I've got half a dozen old phones.
Well, I had a huge clear out
Big money.
recently.
If there's any
Did you?
Derby County players
Eating raisins.
who want an old phone, just for safety,
Do you really keep all that
it's good to have a
stuff then?
spare in case you get a moped attack. You can give
Oh,
them
yeah.
you can give them the old
Frank,
one.
that's a good
The
idea.
rubbish
You can
one.
keep one of those Nokia, the 8310s, which, can I say, was a beautiful phone.
Oh, good
Lovely.
shout.
Do you remember those?
Oh, playing Snake.
What you want is
I don't think I've ever had one I've loved as much as that.
you want a phone that you can set an timed explosive device on.
That's
Then you
I would
give
say
them
Absolute Radio does not.
No,
Yeah.
we don't approve of that. But
For your
nevertheless,
garden, minor explosions, not
sake.
major.
yeah. But if somebody mugged you for your phone and you gave them the explosive one,
Oh,
you
that
gotta
would
admit,
be nice,
It'd be a
yeah.
lovely feeling.
Has
Very
anyone ever
nice.
tried? Someone tried to do that to me once, and I yelled a series of very loud expletives directly in their face.
Good for you.
And they scarpered. Thank you. Good
Very
day.
good.
Yeah. I'm not saying it always works, but
No.
I'm just saying sometimes.
No, it didn't work for Ravel. No, but what they suggested, I think, is that you give the money to charity. The ones from go through your drawers, get the old phones.
Of course. they
Well,
did.
you have
Oh,
to get
come
them
on.
recycled.
I don't see why. If the government's going to stop giving money to charity, I don't see why they should be encouraging us to carry on.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What we need to invent is some kind of gadget that requires old mobile phones. So I passed a high street shop the other day, closed of course, and they were boasting that their puffer jackets were made from old plastic bottles. That's
Oh, yes, yes.
So what we need is some kind of gadget that requires kind of blocks of mobile phone. You pop it in and it starts your toaster working or something. You know, like it gets a bit Wallace and Gromit in my mind.
Yeah,
it's
it
going
does.
through
Yeah.
a tube and down, and then the phone presses a button, and then you've got a cup of coffee by the time you get downstairs. That's what I'm after.
Well, I got an
If there's any
iPhone.
inventors listening, give me a shout.
There will be. I think Wilfred Makepeace Lon.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's one of my faves.
I got an iPhone 12 this week on the upgrade.
Did you?
Oh, I'm about to get one.
God, you guys.
I might
too
examine
big.
your
It's too big.
handset. Can I have a
Pardon?
look?
It's too big, isn't it?
Well, let's have a look.
Is it heavy?
Man. Yeah, it's like being a stonemason.
I can
Professional
recommend some
stonemason.
exercises.
Did you
to
go
prepare
12
you for
then?
picking up.
I'll be looking at your wares later because
Well,
I'm...
you know, they keep saying it's that one. We talked about it ages ago on here because it's got 3 camera
Oh,
lenses.
the tryptophobes.
Yeah, and some people
Oh,
I
do
don't
not
like
like
the
that.
look of that.
But you've got one.
I've got one,
You
yeah.
think that's heavy? Wait till you do some cooking with a Le Creuset pan.
I can't wait that long.
Do you know how long it takes me to wash those up? Oh,
What is a Le Creuset pan?
You've seen them.
Backbreaking, is
They're the
what it
ones.
is.
They're traditionally. They look almost like. I'd say the orange
The stoneware,
casserole
yes,
dish is what
there
you'd
you go.
associate them with. The classic orange, the
Good
burnt orange.
shout
Oh.
from
You know what I
Emily
mean?
Dean. Really good shout.
Good for burglars, though, I should think.
To hit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you can swing it.
I have a dusty pink one given to me by
I've heard
Catherine
that.
Ryan.
Yes.
Catherine, sorry to involve you in this, please.
I've always assumed that if you sell your old phone,
Yeah.
that somebody will have the technology to retrieve the deleted data and then blackmail you over a period of time.
You're absolutely right. I
No
think.
offence,
yeah.
but what have you got to blackmail
And
with?
so it's better in a drawer rather
Poetry
than take that
updates
risk.
that never came.
Exactly.
Doctor Who, Planet of Celadon
It's just a-
updates. I mean, oh yeah, the Sun's going to be desperate to get hold of those.
It's
Pictures
just-
of John Pertwee.
It's just the principle of the thing.
It's a good
What
point.
about my Wendy Richard gallery? You know what I mean? I don't think people are buying them for the right reason. They'll end up in the drugs industry in some way.
Yeah.
Do we want to be part of that? instead?
No, I'd rather
You don't
have
want
rather have
pictures
a
of...
gadget that started the DVD player.
I'd rather leave it in the drawer than
I like
it
the idea of someone coming across Frank. I've got a burner phone. There's some old pictures of Sylvester McCoy. I can't remove them.
There actually are some on my phone.
Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Just looking over some blueprints a few inventors have sent in.
Oh, yeah. Anything good?
There's something that starts the microwave off, but I think you have to preload it with some food, so I'm not up for it.
Frank,
Anyway, it's
we've
worth
had some
trying.
responses to, I believe, a photo of your drawers has been put
Oh,
up
yeah.
on social
Goodness.
media. All sorts of reviews, ranging from the 1 to 5 star.
Oh,
You've had them
okay.
all.
The full set. I got that with that play I wrote in Edinburgh. 24 hours.
Some people, it takes some time to catch up
Yeah.
with genius, I find. And it was genius. Dr. Tom Hunt,
Oh, yeah.
organised chaos.
Nice.
I can get on board with you, Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Something you said a few times, Frank. Daniel, I like Daniel. He just says standard.
Oh, okay.
Standard.
Standard.
Yes.
It's a crowded drawer of wire and stuff. I mean, I need
A
to.
lot of people. And then Chris Holton says he's gone power mad.
That's fine.
good.
Yes.
I've got 2 camcorders as well.
Oh,
I mean, what happened to who uses those anymore?
they are very old school.
And I've got the first ever MP3 player I ever bought.
Yeah.
It's this little plastic thing. When MP3
Oh, I had that.
sounded
Frank.
like space travel.
Yes.
And
They were
I
good.
loaded onto it a Serge Gainsbourg album called A Gainsbourg de Gainsbar, it was called. And when I loaded it on, it said, well, I think 2 tracks from the end, it said full. And so I carried that thing around, and all I listened to it was this one album. That was all I ever listened to on it, was the thing. And then other things happened. But I've kept it.
Well, you know what I found in my drawers? I had a massive clear out recently, but it's funny what you can't bear to part with. For example, 2 tins of commemorative Wimbledon mints,
Oh,
which I got with you, Frank
I
Skinner.
remember. I ate mine, I must say.
Of course you did. When we sat with AJ, do you remember?
We did.
Anthony
yeah.
Joshua. I can't. That was such a lovely memory. I've hung on to those mints.
that's nice.
I've got 2 tins of Wimbledon mints. I've got a plastic cork.
Mm-hmm.
Can
beef
you
mince.
have a plastic cork?
Oh, very
8,
good.
12, 15.
No, I don't think you can. See, I
Yes.
remember once on a train saying...
What
"Have you
is
got-"
it?
I said to the woman on the trolley, I said, have you got a plastic glass? I said, I realised
Yeah.
that's a contradiction in terms. And she looked at me as if I'd said, would you like to look down my trousers?
Oh,
I mean, I
may as well be hanged for a sheep as a lamb sometimes.
well, I decided I'd stick with the lamb.
Always stick with the lamb.
Yeah,
A plastic stopper, I think, is a better.
yeah.
There was a
But you might
there was a
use that.
brass doorknob in there.
I thought you were going to say a brassiere for a minute.
Yeah.
I felt I've had so flushed an
Yeah.
experience. A brass doorknob in
Why
your
have
drawer.
I can't bring myself to throw it out. And 3 Boss Baby napkins.
Boss Baby.
Yes. Okay.
Why not?
Oh, I forgot Boss Baby.
Oh, it's quite good, I think. There's a series as well.
Yeah, Jonathan Ross is a massive fan.
Oh, really?
Of Boss
Oh,
Baby.
by the way, you know
he
we were-
records it and everything. He's obsessed by it.
Oh, interesting.
Do you remember we were talking about Brute 33
Yes.
last week? The great smell of Brute.
Do you remember the strap line for the Christmas ad?
On something about the 25th?
I'll give it to you.
Go on.
Give Brute 33 on the 25th.
Very good. Well...
Was it Barry Sheen? Henry Cooper?
Henry Cooper. This week, Barry Sheen did do it though as well.
Yeah.
And I noticed this week I saw an advert for Brute. They've obviously gone back to the strong stuff. They don't water it down by 2/3 anymore, which is what Brute 33 was. And who was advertising Brute?
David Baddiel.
Vinnie Jones.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So they've kept up the sort of London
Hard man.
London hard man thing.
A brute, if you will.
I wish they'd gone David Baddiel. Give Brute 33 on the 25th. Oh, I'd have loved that.
Might
would have
get
been
some.
that would have been very fine. Did you know that it was Brute that Roger Moore? You remember when Roger Moore flame when he flamethrowered the what? He flamethrowered the.
mention of him makes me laugh, and you know why, Frank.
Yes. Yes, I won't tell that again, but my Roger Moore story. Yeah, when he flamethrowers the tarantula, that was Roger Moore, wasn't it? Rather than Sean Connery, I
I
think.
think so.
That's Brute. So, here you go. The Brute fact. Brute alerts here on Absolute Radio. So all the other...
Another reason not to steal Frank Skinner's mobile phone.
Yeah, all the other smelly stuff that we advertise, I know that people pay to advertise, they're going to be phoning up saying, how come Brute gets advertised for nothing? Sorry, everyone.
Nice way to end the show.
Yeah, Brute will probably... I'll just invoice them. Anyway, thanks for listening to us. Patchy, I know, but at times brilliant. And you know what? If the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now, at least until Wednesday. Stay in.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.